Marianna Lead is a Master Certified Coach and an ICF Credentialing Assessor since 2008. She's the founder of Imagery Coaching Academy, a globally recognized ICF accredited school offering training for all ICF credentials. Her signature holistic life, career and executive coach training is taught in 6 languages, and her alumni span 90-plus countries. A pioneer in integrating emotion and imagination into coaching, Marianna has worked with FEMA, EY, and American Airlines. She co-authored Me, My Brand and Why, and founded the 18,000-plus member LinkedIn group ICF Coach Mentors and ICF Coaches.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you back into our ICF Coaching Supervision Circle. We do it every single week at noon Eastern Time. And today I have a very exciting topic. I wrote a post. Some of you may feel that it's a controversial post. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. About should we like our clients? Is it a prerequisite to actually like the person that you're coaching with? And in my opinion, it absolutely is. However, the reality of it is that when you're starting your coaching practice, as they say, beggars are not choosers, right? So I'm not saying that you're beggars, it's just an expression, but I'm saying that when you are starting your coaching practice, you're hungry. You're hungry for business, and it's real, and it's honest, and that's normal. It's fine, right? And maybe you don't feel like you can afford to pick your clients, and that's okay. And so you literally have a choice when you are starting your career, in my opinion, which is choice number 1, to start respecting and loving your own brand that you represent by being you, authentically you, and choose your clients, because that sends the message to the universe, if you believe in these things, right? Sends the message that this is how it's going to be, and you are setting a boundary, right? And what it does, it really starts working with you, cooperating with you, and starts sending you the clients that match who you are. The law of attraction, if you will. So you can do that, which takes guts, and not everyone can afford it, or maybe some of us don't think that we can afford it, because honestly, it pays for itself very quickly, that choice. Simply because when you're working with people that you like, you do a better job. You can't help it. And they get more excited because they come to your coaching sessions not only for accountability and new strategies, they come to feed off and exchange that energy. It's literally an energy exchange, and they get charged by it, and you get charged by it. And so the recommendations, referrals become a natural thing. It's like if you get excited about something, don't you want to tell your friends and colleagues about it whenever it's appropriate, right? Like you go, you watch a great movie. You're going to tell your friends, your coworkers about this great movie that they just must see, right? Well, something similar happens when this energy is present with the right person, with the right coach. They're just naturally going to want to promote you pretty much for free at no cost to you or to them, right? But if you do choose to go the other way and just take anyone and everyone who is willing to pay you at first, no judgment, but what you're going to have to do internally, you're going to have to find a way to like them. So it's going to be an internal tweak, if you will, an internal adjustment that you're going to have to do in order to be able to provide a viable coaching service. So, yeah, meditate. Imagine yourself thinking in with that person, with their energy. Find at least one thing that you can clam onto, one thing that you like, um, one thing that you can focus on, quite literally, right? And I think that could be helpful. And so, but that's challenging though, because it's a constant adjustment. And I say constant adjustment because they're going to be doing things and saying things and expressing energy that's just not going to fit throughout the coaching session. So, for instance, I know that I have a quirky sense of humor. Me and my daughter, when we go to the movie theater, sometimes we're the only people in the audience who are crying or laughing at whatever times that we are crying or laughing. And yet, there are people who are going to kind of dig that and do the same thing at the exact same times. I'm not saying that your clients should be a carbon copy of you and laugh at the same time necessarily and cry at the same time necessarily, but I'm saying that it's about that rare synergy that that happens when you're actually in the right stream of consciousness, right? So because you see in someone's eyes when they're looking in their eyes if they get you, and they see if you get them. It's a mutual exchange of thoughts, of intelligence, of energy, right? And so, and you feed off of each other, right? If I see that, oh, my joke, maybe it was a little off for my client, or maybe it was exactly the right joke at that moment, but I see a reaction that appreciates that joke, right? So the intelligence level that gets me, and then I get them, and then we can dance around that in whichever direction. That's what I'm looking for. And that's what I'm hoping for you. And hi, hi, Sean. Nice to see you here. Thank you. Yes. So, as a reminder to all of you who is watching now and will be joining later, I can see your comments. I cannot see your faces. I cannot hear your voices, but I will hear your voices through the comments that you write. So whatever you write, I will respond to just verbally here during the meeting. So honestly, it just becomes this kind of almost ethical dilemma. Am I going to be authentic? Am I going to be me? Or am I going to kind of fake through this and just be with this person and coach them, even though we have nothing in common? So I don't think that we should be so punishing and so severe towards ourselves either, because, like I said, it's real to just want to build your business. And a lot of people are just not like you and I, right? People are different, and it's okay. It's good, right? Because that's how the world is made, with people who are just different, right? And so it's just finding that internal comfort level, and also some synergy, at least some synergy between you and your client, so that you could deliver good coaching. Because otherwise, it's just going to be stiff. It's just not going to flow. It's just not going to have that flowing energy that is absolutely necessary for creation of insights, for creation of deeper awareness, for creation of that sacred space where we both contemplate and share thoughts and impressions and different perspectives, different angles. You just can't create that if you're actively disliking your client. And you may hide it really well. It's still going to show up in a kind of robotic responses that you're going to be providing, right? As I wrote in my post, you can follow the script, you can follow the notes, but that they're different from making music, right? And you want to be creative enough so that it's a creative art, so that you are dancing in the moment, as ICF, quoting ICF, dancing in the moment and being with the client and attending to what they need to get attention to. So, Sean, I see you here. What is your perspective, and would you like to share any experience around working with a client that maybe you didn't like versus the client that you did like? And I'm asking this because I am not a saint either. When I started my career, just like most of us, I worked with all kinds of people. And I did work with people who I didn't like actively disliked, but we had no common ground. Like, for instance, I'm very eclectic, I'm creative. My mind is just moving from one thing to the next. I believe I have a touch of ADD. My daughter thinks it's for sure so, right? So, um, my wonders, but I do come back to the point, and I infuse jokes, I infuse a sense of humor, and it's not for everyone, right? And so when I feel that it's kind of landing, or rather not landing at all, it stops my flow. And if I stop my flow, then that energy, receive, give type of energy, I stop that too, which means I'm stopping the space of existing, the space that should belong to both me and my client. And so, I mean, I'm kind of analyzing it right now and speaking out loud about this. But back then, I don't think it was just feelings. I just felt like, oh, I don't want to do this. But honestly, we didn't quit our corporate jobs or whatever other jobs that you quit in order to focus on becoming a coach and being a coach. We are here so that we could enjoy what we do. And it's not enjoyable to work with someone that, there's no synergy at all. And Janine is here. Thank you, Janine. So yes, very thought provoking. There is a particular feeling when you feel that your stream of thinking has synced and you can spark the client in their own thoughts. Two of the qualities that I find to be essential for the coaching relationship in my practice are curiosity and a desire to grow. Absolutely. When the client shows up with these two qualities, there is a foundation for me to engage with at a high level. Well, I think that this is a perfect example of finding something that works for you. Like, what to focus on and how to shift that internal juxtaposition, how to adjust even when there isn't maybe enough synergy between you and the client. And Sean is writing, well, I had a client where their views on relationships was the total opposite of mine. And I just felt unable to coach them because I didn't like them at all. Well, thank you for your honesty. Yeah, that's okay. That's great. On the other hand, I coached a group of boys, and they were so polite and effective. And we both fed off of each other's energy very well. It was so easy to coach them. Sean, thank you. I think that you're noting something extremely important. It feels easy. it feels like you belong, right? You belong here. Your client belongs here. You're in the right place at the right time, and it's easy. I guess that's the idea of flowing. It's not to say that our job is easy, far from it, but there's this kind of a easiness in conversation, in responding, because you are completely and totally on the same wavelength, and that's what creates that feeling of ease. Absolutely. And Janine is adding, humor is valuable in my coaching experiences as well. It often indicates an ease of self and openness. It's infective, exactly. Sean is adding, right? I can't coach someone who is not responding to my jokes at all. Like, if they don't, if they think that, oh, this was too much, or this wasn't, it was kind of cute, but, maybe think twice. But whatever, I need to have a reaction, and I need to have, um, you know, clearly, right? With speaking about self-assessment and supervision, uh, and self-awareness, all of those things, and you're beginning to think, where does it stop being about the client and starts being totally about me? And shouldn't I focus more, and as Janine says, be more curious about the client versus feeling, oh, we just don't click type of feelings, and just refocus on something that's more productive and useful, right? So at some point, you're having those thoughts as well. And Sean is adding, yes, and they felt they belonged, right? They were so eager to dive into the work every week. But on that point, Sean, that's exactly it. It's not just me, right? It's not just the coach. You feel that type of response from the client, right? If I make a joke, okay, my ego can suffer. I can absolutely survive if it doesn't land. Okay, whatever, right? But it's not just that. It's just that there is no reciprocity, right? There's no exchange of that energy. It just kind of stops, right? And then there's judgment, and there is judgment, and you can see it and you can feel it. And then again, you think, well, how much of it is I am projecting, which could also be part of it. And then you refocus and you get to be more curious. But it's never quite the same when you are genuinely in sync with the client, right? You don't have to work so hard on liking them and liking what's happening, because what's happening is this energy exchange, and it's never going to be in sync if you're not on the same wavelengths. That's that, right? um And I think that when we are engaging with the client, and we know pretty much like almost immediately, right? Like few exchanges, and you kind of feel it, you kind of know it. And sometimes they'll prove you wrong, because some people, they just need more time to warm up. Some people are extremely self-conscious, and you need to kind of allow them to relax. And so, like, I would say, like, for instance, a client may say, wait, well, I'm just thinking about this because I don't want to say something, silly. And I can respond, well, I hope you forgive me because I don't mind sounding silly. Will you forgive me if I sound silly sometime? Right? And this type of exchange will relax them and will be inviting them to open up more. And so that could happen too. But you kind of pick up on that. You kind of pick up whether it's something that's happening for them on that level, maybe social shyness, maybe a low self-esteem, or low-ish self-esteem, or maybe just um, being awkward at first meetings, where they know they're supposed to be exposing their soul to a stranger, and they're just not ready quite yet to do that. So you kind of know what you kind of feel, right? You kind of have a feeling what's actually happening. And it's easier to adjust when you kind of know, okay, well, this person just kind of needs some time to get used to this exchange, to this energy, to what coaching is about. I can just take I can just kind of move back a little bit and give them a little bit more time to adjust. And then you coming in from a point of understanding and caring and providing more space, which is very different when like there's just like nothing on the other side. It's like you say something, you provide a perspective, or you make a joke, and it's just like dead. There's like no response. That's, I think, is the worst thing that can happen. In my experience, this is how I experienced it. Sean is saying, in regard to the script, I had a moment last week when I said, so where are we now? And I said, no, wait, let me change the question, because I always ask that question and I hate it. And I surprised myself because I was so used to using the script, but felt the need to use something that fit the flavor of this session. I felt a growth in my coaching. That's so significant. I think that the scripts, and I know like we have coaching session outline, we have the process, and I keep saying these are just guidelines. They're great for beginners. They're great for you to kind of understand the profession, what's required. But then the wonderful time comes when you can make it your own, and make choices. And I think it's wonderful. It's wonderful to give yourself that freedom, that level of freedom, and say, yeah, no, I don't need to ask this question. I'm going to do something different, and surprise yourself and grow in the process. Right. I say to my students, and Sean, you know that, right? I say to all of my students, make conscious choices, right? Don't skip things, or don't follow the rules just because you forgot or didn't know, but create a case for it. Do something different, but consciously. Create new rules. I'm all for it. It's great. But again, and if you were with a client that like there is no synergy, it probably wouldn't have happened. Right? Because you give them permission to be themselves, and they give you permission to be yourself. So there's this creative energy that happens. And when you don't feel that, it's just not there, and everything becomes harder and more challenging. And you have to keep adjusting and reminding yourself to be curious and reminding yourself to look for something that you can focus on, that you like, right? And so it's very laborious to be in that type of coaching relationship. And so I think that and my advice is, the sooner that you feel that you can afford to move away from that, the sooner the universe is going to start giving you your type of people, and you're going to be able to start creating your true following of people who really dig you, really in with your energy, appreciate you fully. And it's always mutual, right? You appreciate them and they appreciate you. And Janine is sharing, I have had clients that assume that the purpose of a coach is to tell them how to change other people. Wonderful, yes. Well, we all have those for sure. If the client does not respond to questions about growth and development of self, I know it will go nowhere, right? I'll just learn to bring it back to them, right? You just have to keep bringing back, because this behavior is really informed by media. it's a misunderstood profession by many, right? And so we have to kind of stick to our purpose. And I think that once the client tastes the true energy of coaching, it's addictive in a good way. And so, yeah, Sean is saying, wow, that's great. They give you permission to be yourself. Yes. I think that happens when they see your authenticity. And I think that's exactly it. And I think that brings another, well, very relatable topic about being vulnerable. Because for most people, being authentic means being open equals being vulnerable. And it's scary. And I think that you do have to possess a certain amount of strength to just be willing to be open and to be vulnerable in a good sense of that word, to be authentic. And usually people will respond with same, maybe not right away, but soon enough. So if you are open and authentic, it'll be easier for them to be real with you too. And honestly, I'm not interested to talk with people who are fake. It's all the same category for me that just doesn't interest me at all. Right. And Sean saying, Janine, I agree. Questions about growth are vital. However, when they shy away, I hold their feet to the fire. Exactly that. Exactly that. And I think that they pay us money to grow. Otherwise, what's the point? So a person who really wants to move forward and create any kind of change in their lives, they will appreciate holding their feet to the fire. And if they're not ready for that, then they'll leave, which is fine too. Because not everyone is ready for coaching. Just like any other profession, it's not for everyone at every point of their lives. Maybe coaching is not right for them now. Maybe it never will be. Like, I don't know. Some people are actively, as Janine is sharing, some people are actively seeking advice so that they wouldn't have responsibility of making decisions on their own. And so they're just not ready, and that's fine. Right. Okay, guys. Well, I really, really appreciate you joining me today. We have so Sean and Janine are my alumni, and Janine is actively right now enrolled in one of our courses um, for mentor coach specialist, which is a new designation by ICF. Um, I'm personally teaching level 2 course that starts literally in a few days on Tuesday mornings. And we have all levels. We have team coaching. We have all kind of courses. This is sponsored by Goal Imagery Coaching Academy. Please connect with me. Come to the next meeting. Share this and keep coming back with new questions. I don't have to necessarily come here with a pre-contemplated topic. If you guys have any coaching cases, if you have any questions, please share them with me either beforehand or even right here. And we can talk about whatever you want to talk about because I'm here for you. And thank you for joining. I will see you next week. Signing off. Have a great week. Bye. Thank you, Janine and Sean.